What's up? What? Whoa. Whoa. Let me get comfortable here. Let me get comfortable. I'm rushing. I'm trying to get ready. Trying to get ready for the show. Woo! How's everybody doing, man? Good to see everybody. Chat is loaded already. 31 people waiting for me to go live. Waiting for the Vape at 5. I changed the intro again, added a little bit more to it. I got this app. It's like $2.99. I'm telling you, it's gonna be this show's gonna be off the charts, man. I keep putting all this effort into it. Show gonna be off the charts. You can't tell. Apparently, YouTube did some like big like thing on their on like big sweep on YouTube, and I lost like 50 subscribers. I was like, what the fuck? So I was asking people if it happened. Apparently, it happened to a bunch of people. I was like, I don't know what the fuck that means. But a little discouraging because I was like right at fucking going to 2,500 and it just they all went away. I was like, what the hell? It wasn't 50, but it was close. It's like 30 something. It's like, that's fucking weird. So anyway, knock me back down. But I won't be down for long. I will be getting back up to get to 2,500. Trying, when I get to, I always get asked, okay, about like doing like a big to-do giveaway for subscribers or whatever. And I think I will do that when I get to 5,000. Now, when I get to 5,000, it'll probably be another like year before I get there. But I'll do a big like shebang then. Another thing on the giveaway, something I need to mention to everybody is I love doing the giveaways and I love sending out stuff to you guys. The only thing I can't promise is if there's a problem with the delivery. I get messages quite a bit about stuff that just, didn't get there or something was wrong with it when it got there, whatever. And I always try to make it right. And I like doing that, but moving forward with how much stuff I'm sending out, I don't know how effective I can get you tracking and you can make sure it gets there and things like that. But as far as like resending stuff and doing stuff again, I don't really think I can keep doing that. And if it was something that people were paying into it, like if it was like a raffle and people were paying into it and then getting a prize, you know what I mean? I could see like standing behind it and doing that. But with the giveaway stuff, like I pretty much, I'll send it. I'll get you the tracking if you need it. But if it doesn't, something comes in wrong, then that's pretty much, I'm not going to insure it because insuring it is like $4 more per sending. It's already like $7-8 to send every package. So it's like, I just can't afford to do that. So just wanted to kind of clear that up. I had some people asking me about like some stuff that was sent out and I was like, well, no, if it gets there, it gets there. And I was like, well, I better say it, instead of just being like, I don't want to be a dick to someone, but if I make it clear from the beginning, then that, be a little bit easier. Be a little bit easier to like accept, you know what I mean? So what's going on, guys? Good to see everybody. Thank you all for joining. It is Thursday on the Vape at 5. Welcome to the basement. I'm your host. This is Vape at 5. I'm your host. I'm BlackCat. Hey, I also had another question on the giveaways yesterday. Someone that I take their opinion quite seriously, and they had said something about the giveaways and people, the same people winning every time. So I wanted to put a question to the group, and I don't want to make changes to it without consulting everybody. So last night I thought about it, I was like, well, I could change it. And I watched Nick the other night, and what Nick does is if you've won a certain prize before, then you kind of sit out until everybody else gets a chance to win. And I was like, you know what? That's really not a bad idea if it's the same prize. Like, for example, like the BlackCat Care Package or the Adore giveaway. Like if you've already won it a few times, then like maybe you sit out and let somebody else try to win it. So I was going to throw that to the group and see what everybody thought, if that's something you want to do. Or the easiest way to do it is we just keep it the way it is. You know what I mean? And I think for the Wednesday giveaway, not so much. Like the Wednesday giveaway is kind of it's different because you're getting different person's coils every time. So I don't want to make that one like limit that to. But I think for like the BlackCat Care Package and things like that I give away on Fridays, if you've already won it, which there really nobody has because I just started doing it again, then I think it's a good idea to we'll just if you win it, then you hold off and let somebody else win it. And then maybe like 6 months we'll reset it and then everybody can start going in again. You know what I mean? Because you don't really need 2 shirts, BlackCat shirts, do you? I mean, I know the entire families, but you can always purchase a BlackCat Care Package directly from me if that's something that seriously interests you. And that you can circumvent the winning process. I used to not sell them. I used to just say you have to win them. That was like part of it. But now you have to win it. All right, enough of that crap. Today, we are going to do the Enigma Coil. Now, the Enigma Coil is seems good as is, John. Yeah, I just have no problem sitting out. Sounds good to me. Clutch. No, nothing against Clutch. Ain't his fault he keeps winning. You know what I mean? It's just, it just kind of prompted it because I was like, well, the guy's won 3 times in like 2 weeks. I was like, fuck. So it's a game of chance. All is fair. And I kind of think the same way, Jane. So maybe we'll leave it the way it is. I kind of feel the same way. I just wanted to throw that out there. It just makes it more rant because, going into it, no matter how many times you win, there's this idea that it's like being on a hot streak in baseball. It's like, the guy's on a hot streak. He's probably going to get a hit. No, it doesn't. That's not how it works. Every time you step up to the plate, you have the exact same chance of getting a hit, a home run, a win as the other person does. There's no difference. You know what I mean? You have the exact same chance every time. When everything's constant, with drawing numbers, everything's constant. There's no skill level involved. So I think it's kind of good as the way it is. I just wanted to throw that out there because the person who said something to me, I do take their opinion extremely valuable, and I do take their opinion into account, and I wanted to get that out there. So it is what it is. Unless like the same person wins like 10 times in a row, maybe we'll look at something then. But yeah. So today we're going to do the Enigma Coil. Now the Enigma Coil, it's difficult. And the Enigma is a variation upon an alien coil. You're using a D core off of a certain gauge. The real significant difference is instead of being a 3-to-1 ratio, you're going to use a 6-to-1 ratio. So instead of using, I'm going to D-core a 28 gauge wire. Okay, 28 gauge. So to make an alien, I would take 3 28s and I would reverse it and wrap it that way, right? That would be my alien. Now, with this, I'm going to do it basically 6 cores. Okay, so it's going to be, instead of being 0.32 times 3, it's going to be 0.32 times 6. So the dimensions on this build are going to be 12 pieces of 0.4 ribbon and 2 28 gauge core. 2 28 gauge frames. My D core is going to be a 28 gauge. If you're looking to build this coil, I suggest that 2 things out of those specs. 1, you stick with those. They're basic, they're standard, they work consistently, and it's a very, very easy, not easy, but it's a very standard Enigma to do, and it works, okay? 12 pieces of ribbon, 0.4, 28 gauge frames, and typically 28 gauge D core, either 38 gauge or 40 gauge. And I'm going to tell you why here in a second. The other thing about it is, if you're going to do this, I would suggest using 0.4 ribbon. Reason being is it stacks a lot easier than 0.3 ribbon, and it'll make, and that's really the difficult part of doing this build, is keeping that ribbon stacked correctly. Keeping it stacked, keeping it flat, and getting that nice Enigma look. The original Enigma was an interlock. So we're going to do an interlock. And what I mean by that is like an interlock alien. I'm going to fuse with 38 gauge, and then I'm going to force fuse 38 gauge inside of it. Okay. So when I wrap it, it looks like an interlock. And if you look at the picture I used in the tile, that's an Enigma. It's an interlock over that same exact course, same exact specs I'm going to do today. I always do them the same specs just because it works. I know it works, and it's fairly, I don't want to say it's easy, but I mean, I have good success with this build. The other part of that is you can't use 30. If you're going to do an interlock, you're going to have to use 38 or 40 gauge. You can't use 36. It will absolutely break your fingers to use 36 gauge. It's too heavy. It's just too heavy. I mean, it's too hard to keep it tight, keep the tension you want. You'll end up destroying your cores. 38 gauge works. 40 gauge is probably better. I use 38. Again, I'm just going to stick with what I do. All right, so first thing we're going to do is I've got a piece of 28 gauge here. I'm going to do an interlock on that 28 gauge. And I'm only going to make one. We'll see. I'll see how much decor I have, and I'll see how far down I get. If I can make a set, I will. Like if I can make a set of 2 4 wraps, I'll do that. But what I'm shooting for is 1 5 wrap on a 3 mil jig. That's what I'm shooting for. And Whoever wins the care package tomorrow will win this coil. Now, I've got a couple announcements, and the reason I'm starting this build now is because I want to go slow and explain exactly how I'm doing things, because I have had several people ask me to do this build. So I want to make sure that I explain it correctly and do it slow enough that everybody understands what I'm saying. And that also, I'll watch chat, so in case you have questions or things that things that I miss or don't say correctly, you can follow along. I have a couple announcements. One, remember, tomorrow I am on Vaping with Ken's channel at 5 o'clock Eastern time for the suicide prevention marathon, 5 o'clock. So be watching for Ken's channel, Vaping with Ken, if you want to be there. Now, if you entered the giveaways, you have to be there tomorrow for the giveaways. And that includes the giveaway for Richie's coils, my care package, and the Adore giveaway, and the ChanVapes giveaway. All four, you have to be there tomorrow in order to collect your prize or to win. The other thing I wanted to mention, Adore is Miss Dawn is doing a build-off. Now, this build-off is for the Resistance Crew team. She is doing a build-off for them with a specific coil that she wants them to build. Big D Coils and myself have been asked to be the judges. So you'll be seeing more and more information on that. We will be doing, which I just found out, we will be doing a live judging on the Resistance Crew channel here in a few weeks. So keep an eye out for that. Don just posted it on the Adore Eliquid Instagram page, and I will be copying and posting that again to get as many people watching as we possibly can. And then I'm a little nervous to do the judging live because I really don't like hurting people's feelings. You know what I mean? Like, I want everybody to win, and I don't want to be like I don't know. I feel bad like having to judge them like while they're watching. Like, I'll feel kind of bad doing that just because I don't want to hurt their feelings. And I'm going to be honest. You know what I mean? As honest as I can be. Here. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to take this first Clapton, I'm going to take it halfway down my core here, and then I'm going to basically I'm going to grab force fuse the second one inside. All right, take it down here. Not yet, Charlie. I get it tomorrow. I'll have it on the show. I'm excited. I get tomorrow. All right, that's perfect. So let's take that down. Oh, you bastard. Oh. All right. Loosen it up. Okay, that's nice and loose. All right, let's interlock it. So, did my first Clapton. I did it halfway down the wire here. I'm going to go ahead and just do the second one and force fuse it in between the gaps. So let's do this one here. Make sure you're going the exact same way as the first Clapton. You don't want to go the other way. That would not work very well. In fact, I've never done that. I wonder what would happen if you go the other way. I have no idea. I wonder what would go the other way if you did it the other way. I wonder if anybody's ever done that. If it would unwrap the other one or something, force it to be unwrapped. I really did. I have to try that sometime. Probably not, Subaru. I probably will not get the Pulse X. I'm not. I don't have any pulses. I don't have any. The next, there's 3 RDAs I'm looking at getting. Well, 4 really. I'm looking at the Dat Way, or Day One, the Day One, which is Coil Vapes in collaboration with Mission X, who make the Karma. I'm looking at that one. I'm looking at the Citadel, which is by Cyclone. I really like that one a lot. But I'm trying to get some feedback on it before I buy it. I'm going to get the Jenna by Jay Hayes. You get that RDA for sure. And the last one I'm looking at is the Skyfall. If I can get... Now, the Skyfall is tough, man. It's tough to get a Skyfall. They do it from their Facebook page. And the last... there were 100 units that went out this week. There were 562 people that went up for it, and I wasn't picked to compete to get one. So I'm going to try to get a Skyfall if I can. But right now, I think the next RDA I'll buy will be the Citadel, followed by the Jenna, and then the Day One. Those are the three. So I'm going more to, I'll tell you, I've had some issues with my throat. And with vaping super hot vapes, has really, it started to get, my throat has started to get a little harsh. And I've noticed that I'm getting these like coughing fits sometimes. And it's just because I'm just roasting it, man. I'm vaping, a 0.08 build at fucking, 4.5 volts, 4.2 volts, and I'm just fucking blasting myself. So I need to change my vaping style for a little bit. So I'm going to start moving to more single core or single coil vapes, and more like a flavor chasing type vape. So switching it up a little bit. That doesn't mean I won't still vape. All right, that should be nice and loose. It is. All right, so I have the interlock clapped in right here. Cut it off, pull it off here. Wish me luck. Oh, it came right off. First thing I'm going to do, I'm going to take the end here before I do anything right here. So I have my interlock right here, the interlock clapped in. I'm going to go ahead and take my glue gun or any glue, and I'm going to put glue right on the end of this to hold it in place. I don't want this core, or excuse me, I don't want these fuses moving at all. So put some glue on one side. I'll let that dry. I'll get rid of it. Now, I'm only making one. Typically, if you're going to make an Enigma and you don't feel confident, you want to make about 3 or 4 decors. You really do, because you can keep using the same core, but you want to have a couple extra decors in case you fuck it up. I don't really have time to do that, and I feel pretty confident I'll get it, so I'm not going to do that. But I would suggest that if you haven't done a few of them, I would suggest go ahead and doing that. Cut this off, and I'm going to glue the other side. You really don't need to glue both sides. I do just because that's how I do it. But common sense would tell you if you glue one side, the other side isn't going to move. You know what I mean? That's how I do it. And like I always said, I'm a creature of habit. I do it. I know it works. I do it exactly the same way. Now, this is the easy part, doing the interlock. That's the easiest part of this whole thing. Here is probably the toughest part, and that is your prep. So I've got to prep 12 pieces of ribbon, and then put two 28 gauge frames around it. I need to prep it it needs to be nice and tight so that it doesn't move. I need to have excellent prep here. And whenever you're stacking that many pieces of ribbon, it's a challenge. It's a challenge to really get your prep that tight. But I'm going to take my time with it and cross my fingers, and hopefully I'll get it. Also going to need a little bit of a couple sliders here. Just like I do with my aliens, I prep the exact same way every time. Every time I prep the exact same way. And the reason being is because this way prepping works. Hey, Shane, how you doing, man? Say hi to everybody. I didn't go through the list here because I wanted to make sure I had enough time to do this, and I wanted to. If not, I'll do it at the end. I will say hey to everybody. So I'll probably do that at the end here. All right, so let's grab. This is my 0.2. I need 0.4. Is this 0.4? Yep, here it is. I need to redo all my wire too. I need to resort it all out. Fucking mess over there. I have so much shit just everywhere. All right. So we're going with all Coil Society build today, guys. So I'm going to take... All right. I'm going to cut these about 18 inches. That's a little long, but if I fuck up, then I can keep going. So I'm going to try to rely on how long my core is in order, if I fuck up, I can just like move it and start again. So that's 2, 3. Want them all relatively the same size. Let's go. I'm going to get you guys up top here so you can see what I'm doing. All right, let's bring it. Boo, boo, boo. Let's get to macro. There it is. All right, let's zoom this in so you guys can see. There we go. All right. Up here. Four pieces. Make sure you don't get any bends in them. Keep them as nice and tight as, or nice and straight as you possibly can. Look how nice this Coil Society ribbon comes off. Here's 5. See how nice and straight that is? Absolutely perfect. This is off a 200, how big is this? 300-foot spool too. And it's still that straight. That's fucking amazing. And here's 6. So here's my 6 pieces of ribbon. Go ahead and put my tape back on here. Put it back in the bag. I always keep everything in these bags. Between me and Jay. Jay's creative. I'm not creative. I'm very like standard, like this is how you do it type builder. Jay's creative. He like does different things. I doubt Jay even knows who I am. I don't think he would do a build off of me. Okay, now I've got my 6 pieces of ribbon here. I'm going to turn this 6 pieces into 12. So I grab them down here at the end. I'm going to push them all together just like that. So now I have all 6 of them. I grab them at the end, put a little moisture on my fingers, and I'm just going to run it straight down. And the first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to make these all the exact same size. Right now, I'm not really worrying about it stacking. I'm just kind of training it a little bit. So I go down here to where all the janky stuff is, right there. And I'm going to cut all these off. Now I have 6 pieces of ribbon that are exact same size. Take it here, bring back down to the end, make my loop. Let's see if I can back up so you guys can see. And go straight up. Just like that. Big fat stack of ribbon. I'm going to keep it there. I go. I got my loop right there. Perfectly stacked. That easy, guys. That easy. Put a little moisture on it just to keep it together. Take a piece of 38 gauge or 40 gauge. My hands are slick. There it is here. So I want this a nice tight wrap on here. And after I do that, I take my nylons and I'm going to press this down. All right. There we go. There we go. Nice and flat. Everything looks really good so far. Stacking really nice. I'm going to take another piece of 38 gauge and I'm going to put 5 loose wraps on it right here. Cut it off. Nice and loose. Put a little moisture on my fingers and I'm just going to run it straight down to the end. There we go. That is 12 pieces of ribbon stacked right there. Set it down. I'm going to take my 28 gauge. Got a bunch of little pieces of 40 gauge still, which is good. And I'm going to take off a 20-inch piece, pull it nice and straight. All right, we're done. Basically, I'm done with everything I needed. So I can set that to the side. First thing I'm going to do is I'm just going to cut this janky end off so that I have a nice piece, straight piece of 28 gauge. And I'm going to do the exact same thing. I'm going to bend it. I'm going to grab both ends just like that. I'm going to go up to the top here, give it a pull. Give it a little shake to kind of work that bend in. Now, I'm going to take this 12 pieces here, put it inside, just like that, and I'm just shaping this 28 gauge right around that wire, or right around that ribbon. That's all I'm doing. Making sure it's nice and set in there. I'm going to take another piece of 38 gauge, and I'm just going to wrap it up. Now, when you start wrapping it here, it may look like it's starting to pull over on each other. That's okay. Because ultimately what you're going to do is after you do that, you're just going to press it down nice, just like that with your nylon. Press it down super nice, and now it's in there good. First thing I do is I'm going to clean this up so that I don't have any tails hanging off that could get in my build. Get rid of that. All right, so now I have right up here, you can see, there's my knot that I made. I'm going to go up here, I'm going to pinch right at the top. Take my other hand, I'm just going to pull it down about that far. Okay, and I'm going to take another piece of 40 gauge, 38 gauge, and I'm going to put 5 loose wraps right here. All right, I'm just going to press it out, keeping it nice and set. So now I got that nice, see how nice and tight that is right there? Go back up top here, press it down. I'm going to grab some 0.4 ribbon. I'm just going to put 4 nice loose wraps right around here. Press it down. And then clean it up. All right. Clean up the 40 gauge or 38 gauge. Now, put some moisture on your fingers. Go back up to the top here, pull it down. I'm pulling the 40 gauge down, and I'm pulling that slider right behind it. That slider's really loose, so what do? Press it. Get it. You want it fairly tight. You don't want it so tight you can't move it, but you want to feel friction on it when you pull it. Now I go right back up to the top. I pull down about an inch. And I put 4 more nice loose wraps with 0.5 ribbon. Press it in. Cut the ends off so it's not janky. You don't want these ends on here because you don't want to get those getting in your fuse. There you go. So now I have slider, slider, 40 gauge. I'm going to take the 40 gauge down, pull the slider, put a little moisture on my fingers to keep it nice and tight. Moving all 3 of them at the same time. Moving them all together. Until I get all the way down to the end where this is, and now I have this bird's nest. See how nice and tight that is? I have this nice bird nest of crap here, all that. So I'm going to find a nice place that I want it to end. Be about right here. Put it all into my cutter, and I'm going to cut all that off. So now I have, here's my end. Here's my 40 gauge right here. Push them all together. And this right here is what I'm going to glue. So I grab it right there with about, I don't know, say a ½ inch there. I'm just going to put glue on it. And I'm going to try to put the glue on as evenly as I possibly can. There. Use the head of the glue gun here to kind of get it nice and even. Typically I would stick the end of it into my glue gun, but unfortunately, being this big, I can't do that. It's too big, it won't fit. So what you do is you just put some glue on here, and then you take your glue gun, try to max it, try to move it around as best you can. And there we go. Now I'm going to let this dry, and it's obviously not even, which is fine, because I can fix that. But that I'm just going to let this dry for a second. And then once it's dried, I can basically shape it any way I want it. And how I do that is I press it with my nylons and then I cut off all the stuff I don't want to get it as even as I possibly can. I'm still loving the BTFC. I should review that. I really should. I fucking love this thing. It is a fantastic RDA. All right. There it is. Nice and even. Now I take my nylons. I'm just going to press it out a little bit. And that actually looks pretty damn good. So I'm not going to fuck with that too much. All right. I got all my 40 gauge pressed down here. I'm going to pull one of my sliders down where I got about a 1/2 inch between the 40 gauge and the slider. I'm going to clean all this stuff up. Take my nylons, press it down nice and tight. And there's very little space between any of it. If you look here, it's a nice tight wrap. So the first 1/2 inch of this build, I'm not going to worry so much about, quite frankly. I'm just going to kind of get my fuse down how I want it, the tension I want, and I'm just going to use that kind of as my tester. So take this here, I'm going to put it in the chuck of my drill, right in the middle as best I can. Down. Looks pretty even. Let's just see how it's so. Yep, that's even. Nice, get it nice and tight in there. All right, that looks pretty damn good. All right, right outside of the chuck here, I'm just going to press that down nice and tight so that I get it nice and flat, and it looks good. Let's move you guys down a little bit so you can see. All right, so there's what I'm looking at. Now, I take my D-core. Your stretch on a D-core on an Enigma on this size is 4-to-1. It's a 4-to-1 stretch. I'm not going to really worry about that. I'm going to use tension. But I'm telling you right now, if you want to stretch it, it's 18 inches. Stretch it 4-to-1. Okay? I have 18-inch D-core. I would basically do 80 minus 8, 62 or 72 inches. I'm not going to worry about that so much. I'm just going to kind of just basically... Oh, I did not do that. Please don't tell me I fucked my... I did. God damn it. So I'm going to have a fuck up in it because I just bent it wrong. But that's all right. Not going to sweat it. And that's how easily you can fuck this coil up, because I just, when I stretched it, I fucked it up. But that's all right. I'm still going to go with it. Now, this is all about tension. Getting the right tension so that I get it to look the way that I want it to look. So I'm going to tie it onto my core here. And first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to basically take like a airplane view of everything. Make sure everything's straight. Make sure it's nice and even. Everything looks pretty good. This looks good. Using the cow's iron swivel system still. Move everything out of my fucking way. Move the cord out of my way. All right. Get everything ready. All right, we take a little vape. Now, when I first start doing this, it's going to do a hedgehog. And I'm going to use my tension on the wire here to make it look exact, or make it do the Enigma. You'll notice I have the slider right there, super close. Right, I don't want to fuck it up, so I'm going to put it, actually going to put my drill on slow. And I'm going to start it out and see how it looks. And it actually is a Enigma. Okay, it's doing it. All right, well, I don't really need to do much. So that, it's doing the Enigma. Let's just keep it going. All right, now here's the tough part. So I got the first 1/2 inch done. I want to do this a little bit at a time. You do not move your fuse hand. That is the biggest thing of this whole thing. Do not move your fuse hand. You should be practicing that. If you're learning how to do aliens from my show, you should know that you do not move your fuse hand ever. You keep it right there. You move everything with your drill hand. Keep the exact same tension. Start it back up, and it will go right back to the pattern it was doing. Gonna lead it slightly, not too much. Now, when you're leading it, you don't want to lead too much because when you're going this slow, you'll create a lot of space. Okay, did it start? All right, it looked like it started hedgehogging. All right, so let me just readjust my tension. So I got about 2 or 3 wraps on there that actually hedgehogged. That's all right. Just gonna readjust my tension and go right back into the Enigma. There we go. Remember, I reversed the drill just like an alien, keeping decent tension on it. The faster you go, the better it's going to look, but you don't need to move those sliders a whole lot. You want to keep it nice and flat, because if you lose the flatness of it, then the 6-to-1 ratio will be thrown off, and it will not look right. All right, looking really good so far. I do have a fuck up right there, so I'm going to try to use that as like my lead for it, and then make an entire, so I get a perfect coil for you guys. All right, we're working right down the coil. You notice my fuse hand is directly under the build. My lead on it, my lead of the fuse, and I just moved my fuse hand. That's all right. My lead of the fuse is just barely what I would do with an alien, not leading it too much, keeping decent tension on it. Thank you, Vape Ross Vape. Appreciate that. Oh. Remember when I told you I fucked up on the when I told you I fucked up when I stretched it? I just felt it go through my hand. It's right here. Right there is where the fuck up is. So I know that that's going to be a bad fuse. But that's all right. We're just going to keep rolling. Everything else looks really good so far. Core is still nice and flat. My fuse is really consistent. And I'll tell you when it goes. Right there's my fuck up. It's all right. I actually have enough of a coil though between my two fuck ups. So I should be all right. But I'm going to go ahead and take it all the way to the end. All right. Now, I can tell you this. My fingers are already they're kind of sore because I'm going slow, but I can feel the tension in my fingers with this, with the 38. So you may want to try doing it with 40. Maybe a little easier for you with 40 gauge. And just like that, I fucked it up. Just like that. That's how delicate it is. I don't know, well, I did, but not that bad. But that's how delicate this build is. I mean, you have to know what you're doing. But I'm telling you, if you can do an alien, you can do this build. And that, my friends, is the Enigma Coil. So, let's cut it off here. Cut it off here. We're going to pick the best part of it. Focus it in best I can so you guys can kind of see what I'm doing here. You won't be able to get a good picture of it, but... All right, so here's my fuck up in the beginning. And the fuse looks perfect all the way through. Right here is a little bit, and then right there. So I really have, if I want to make that the lead, I can. If I go to 4 inches, it'd be right there. So if I move this about like that, and I cut it here, I'm going to cut it right before my first fuck up, and I'm going to cut it right after this one. All right, so this is that's a 4-inch piece of Enigma right here. My own, if I were to criticize myself, and honestly, it's perfect to right there. So where my thumb is to right there is perfect, which is about, yeah, that's 3 inches. So that's a 5 wrap. So it'll look good when I wrap it. So let me wrap it up, and then I'll bring the camera down and let you guys take a look at it. But I got 3 good, 3, it's so easy to fuck up. And when I say fuck up, I mean like as far as being perfect, because you want your, you want the Enigma form, that triangle type interlock, you want that to be in the dead center of the coil. Now on a 12, you know, you have it's a big core, so it's easy to drift off of that. It's really, really easy to drift off the middle. So everything has to be super consistent. So what I'm saying is that 3 inches I have is perfect. It's in the middle. It looks exactly the same. The wrap is super tight. It's consistent, and it looks good. So let's get this thing wrapped up and take a look. I'm gonna do it on I'm gonna do a 5 wrap on a 3mm jig. And I'm gonna put this end into my chuck. About there. Or into my vise. Take a look at it. Everything looks really good. All right, let's wrap this thing up. And you just want to take your time wrapping it because it's a lot of ribbon. And there's my 5 wrap. All right. There we go. It is a big, big bastard. Let me take this down here so you guys can see it. That's a nice one. I would actually parallel this with a piece of like probably 26 gauge or maybe even 24 gauge, just because there's a little space. And that's another trick. If you space out one of your wraps, because I had to pull it back a little bit when I was wrapping it, it's so goddamn big, you can parallel it and take away that space, which is always nice. All right, let's see here. And there it is. Let's see if I can. Where is my... Let me see if I can put this on here so you guys can actually see it. And I'm curious to see it too. Let me wipe this off. Busting out the macro lens, guys. I want you guys to be able to see it. Go down. Okay, that looks pretty good. So let's take it all the way down. There it is. That is an Enigma. There we go. That's a pretty good shot of it. There it is. Not great shot of it, but you get an idea. That's the Enigma, guys. Right there. All right. So that, my friends, will be somebody's who wins the BlackCat care package this week. Will get an Enigma coil, and you can try a single coil vape with an Enigma, which I've never actually vaped a single coil Enigma. I've actually never vaped one of my Enigmas. I just didn't think it'd vape that good just because so much fucking ribbon in it. But it's your preference. You want to keep it, you can keep it. So you got an Enigma, or you can vape it. So Up to you completely. You know, I was looking today, and not to like toot my own horn or anything. That's really, but it's something I thought it was kind of cool. The only two people ever on YouTube ever to make that. Now, if you look for Enigma videos on YouTube, if you look for how to on an Enigma, there's only there's 4 people that have one. I have one. Nick has one. Non-existent human has one, which I don't know who that is, and Sherlock Holmes has one. Now Sherlock does one, but Sherlock doesn't do an interlock. He does a single, which I'm not taking away from what he did, but it's a single. It's not an interlock. Nick does an interlock, and I do an interlock. If you look at people who do them live, there's only 2 people who've ever done a live Enigma on YouTube. It's Nick and I. So it's kind of cool that like, you know, Nick and I are the only two. Made me feel kind of good. I was like, because I figured there'd be a bunch of people that do them, but they're hard, and not a lot of people do them because they just don't want to do it. You know, they just don't want to practice them enough. It literally took me. I mean, I was already into building about 6 or 7 months before I really went after the Enigma, and it took me literally like, you can ask my wife. I for a week straight until I really got where I could get them consistently. I mean, and it's hard. It's hard because, like I said, the littlest fuck up, you know, the littlest fuck up in your preparation or in your interlock or any of that comes into account. And when you're fusing, if you change your tension or your angle at all, it fucks it up. And there's no reason why it fucks it up, but it fucks up the wrap. So to get it consistently and to get it right, it's not hard. It's not easy. It's hard to do. So yeah, yeah. Richie said it took 16 tries. Richie, I would say I don't know if it took what I did, Richie, and this is what I ended up doing was I did so many that I fucked my core up. So what I did was I did like I literally would do 4D cores at a time. This is a great thing to practice. I would do 4D cores at a time, and then I would just do them, do them, do them. Well, I got where I was basically fucking my D core, my core up. I'd have to throw the core away and do another one. So I took super glue and I glued the core so that it would not move. Just like so, it was like just like a stick of, you know, instead of so it wouldn't move. And I practiced for like 4 days with D-cores, just going down, trying to get the feel right, where I knew it would move. That way I didn't have to put sliders on it. I didn't have to do anything. I could just go right down and practice till I got it the way I liked it. And as soon as I got it, I threw that one away and I made a fresh one. And I did my prep the exact same way, nice prep, and I got it. But I had to practice. It's not really cheating. It's basically like going into the batting cage. Like I had to basically like just be like, look, I'm not even gonna try to get one I can vape. I'm just gonna say, you know what? I'm just gonna try on this core and see if I can get it until I get the feel right and then do it. And you can do that with pretty much anything. You know what I mean? Just like, you know, if you just do it, find a way you can practice it as much as you possibly can, and then, you know, you get it. And you know, for me, it's like now that I've got it, I can pretty much do it on command now. You know, I'm confident. Like I didn't, you know, I didn't even think about doing an Enigma until I came down here because I was like, oh, I'll do an Enigma today. It's like, it's not anything that I feel is that difficult. And it's a beautiful coil. It really is. And it's impressive. People are impressed when you say, you know, and I always say that I think like, in my opinion, and you can take my opinion for what it is with building because I'm not an expert by any means, but I think that makes you a master level builder when you can get into the Enigma. I think that's a master level builder. Master level builder does 40 gauge and or higher, and does Enigmas. So that's kind of what I take as one as a, you know, once you can get Enigmas consistently, then you're pretty much at that level because it's tough. It takes a lot of commitment. It takes a lot of commitment to get to it. You not only have to put through the time, but you got to put through like there's so many different aspects to getting it. You know, you have to know how to stack ribbon. You have to know how to prep your core. You got to know how to do an interlock. And then, of course, you got to know how to do an alien. And not only that, but you have to do it like a perfect alien because if you fuck up the tension or the angle at all, it fucks it up, fucks the wrap up. There's no room for error with it. You know what I mean? That's why not many people do it because it's hard. So, you know, and what I had to do, somebody asked me the other day to do a Razorback. And I thought about it. I don't think I've ever done a Razorback that I can remember. I think I did one once, but I haven't done one in a long time. So that may be something I try. And I would probably do it off camera first just to get it. Using the keychain method where you hold the little keychain. I think Big D showed me that, and you just go down it with a keychain, the loop, and you get because with the Razorback you want the ribbon stacked like that. But honestly, anything with like a decor, I can pretty much do. Like I'm good enough. I feel confident enough with how I know how how it will lay that I'll be able to get it. And that goes with like Sukas and all that. Like I know like how to get it to lay the way I want. The ones I don't like to do are fucking staggers. I fucking hate stagger builds. Anyway, I'll quit toot my own horn. Pitchforks are hard. Pitchforks are fucking hard. A good pitchfork, like a perfect pitchfork, is that's as hard as it gets. That's as hard as it gets, and you'll go fucking crazy. I hate them. I hate them. I did a pitchfork and I did my one and I did it right. And I was like, I'm not doing another one. Fuck it. I'm not doing any more of these. It's awful. But to do a good pitchfork is, yeah, that's a fucking badass build. It's hard. You did one live on Coils. Yeah, Richie. I figured. Yeah. Yeah. I mean, there's very few of us who have, though, who have done one live. I mean, you got to have balls to, to do it. You know. So, yeah, so I had a bunch of people. That's the most requested coil. That and then the Razorback is another requested coil. Nick has a couple videos on Razorbacks that he's done. If you're looking to get into them, and Heath, who goes by Drip Coils, does them on Instagram, and he does them really well. He loves doing them, and he's actually very good at them. So if you ever see Heath, you can ask him questions. Drip Coils is his name on Instagram and on YouTube. You can ask him to give you some pointers on how to do them. And quite frankly, if I do one, I'll probably go to him or go to Nick. Be like, give me some pointers so I can do this thing. So yeah, so we have a couple cool things coming. We got tomorrow, we have the giveaways on Vaping with Ken's channel. So make sure you're subscribed. And over on Vaping with Ken's channel, let's show up and represent and have fun tomorrow for the suicide prevention. I'm not sure how it's going to go. I have no idea. Like, I'm just going to go into the Zoom room, go live, and then whatever happens, happens. As far as I know, there could be 25 people on this thing when I'm on there. So I don't even know if I'll get to do the giveaways. I'm not going to force the issue. Like, if they ask me to do it, I'll do it. But if I'm not going to be that guy going, I got to do my show. I'm not going to do that. So, I'll try to do them. If I can't, then we'll either I'll come on Saturday and do them. I'll give a time that I'm going to do them, or I'll do it after. If I can, I'll do it after on my channel at 6 Eastern time, or I'll do them Monday. I mean, we'll figure them out. They're not going to go away. You know what I mean? The giveaways are going to be there, so I'll do them sometime. But I don't know for sure if I'll be able to do them tomorrow on the channel or not. I'm going to try. And I told Ken that's why I wanted to do, but that doesn't mean that that doesn't mean that I'm going to get to, because this isn't about me. You know what I mean? This is about suicide prevention. I'm going there to support. You know what I mean? I think it'd be kind of cool to get everybody involved in the giveaway and give some stuff away. I think that'd be kind of neat. But you never know what's going to be going on, especially since it's just starting at 5. There might be like Jay could be on there. Like, what am I going to do? Take the floor from? I can't, I'm not going to do that. Fucking tell me to shut the fuck up. You know what I mean? Like, I can't do that. Or, Suck My Mod, or all those guys are going to be on there. So it's like, I can't, just like, hey, don't you know who I is? I can't do that. They're going to be like, who the fuck are you? Yeah. So I have to know my role. My role is just to be supportive. And if I get an opportunity to do the giveaways, then I certainly will, and we'll have a great time. But it's not about me. You know what I mean? It's not about me. Oh, I know, Charlie. I did it 2 days in a row. I forgot to tell you guys hello, Charlie. I love you, Starly. Good to see you. So I'm very excited. I get my Haze mod tomorrow. And I'm really, really looking forward to it. It'll be my first Stabwood mod. I've never had a Stabwood mod before. So, hey, Freddie, how you doing, man? Half the cold. Wow, Freddie, that's awesome, man. Good for you, brother. That's fucking awesome. That's right, Sean. Yeah. Suicide prevention is more important than fucking anything. It's touched everybody's lives. So, yeah. Especially deal with addiction and things like that. A lot of addicts kill themselves. Well, they do it, I mean, there's all kinds of different ways. Not to get morbid, but in hand in hand with addiction, there's all kinds of different ways you can kill yourself. You can drink. I was trying to drink myself to death. That's a form of suicide. I knew the consequences of me continuing to drink was going to be death. right? Somebody who's gotten to the point in their opiate addiction where they're putting a needle in their arm, they know the consequences of that are death. And we know that in our brains, we know that. So in a way, that's a form of suicide, So I think it's going to be a great thing. I'm very, very honored to be a part of it and to support as much as I can, and hopefully we can raise some money. And you never know where that what's going to happen. Maybe that money goes to somebody at the right time and keeps them from doing something stupid, and that's a miracle right there. Yep. I'm the Lady Gaga. Hey, excuse me. What's Matt from Suck? Excuse me, Matt. No, dude. If you notice when I do live shows, I get kind of mousy sometimes because I don't like this is my show, so I can do whatever I want here, because it's my show. But our show, whatever. But it's on my channel, so I don't feel, But when I go on other people's streams, I don't like doing that. Like I kind of sit back and I'll make jokes and things like that when it's my turn. But I don't know. I feel weird about because I can take over things by talking, and that's one thing I had to learn to not fucking do. I need to shut the fuck up. Sooner than later, yeah. Charlie, yep. That's it, man. This is dog show. The dog is dead. There will be surprise visits by the dog. He will show up eventually. Eventually, you'll click on here. It'll be the fucking dog. He'll fly in on his helicopter. He'll take over the show again. Tell Jay this is my show. Jay would probably think that's funny. He's a funny guy. He'd be like, "Who the fuck are you?" Would you say hi to everyone asking for a friend? All right. Let's say hi to everybody. Hold on. I got all right. Participants. There's a shitload of people here. I'm rolling through this, guys. Roger, what's up, brother? How you doing, man? BlackCatWhiteface Vapes, that's me. Speedy fast today. Charlie! What's up, Charlie? How you doing, man? Charles, good to see you. Chessie, what's up, buddy? Good to see you. Freddie, what's going on? Fabian, what's happening? Frankie, what's up, Frankie? How you doing, man? Woom, what's up, great? Woom, how you doing, man? Good to see you, brother. Glad you're here. Ian Thomas, what's up, man? How you doing, Ian? Good to see you. Jeff Sealer. Got it right that time, didn't I? Woohoo. Siler. Good to see you, Jeff. Glad you're here. Joey, to the motherfucking... Oh. Juan Costello. What's up, Juan? How you doing, man? Good to see you. Lou. Frigno. That's Nick. Fucking Lou Frigno. I'll never get old. Lou Frigno will never, ever get old, dude. So funny. I never did the welcome back, Lou. Now, here I go. Now I just start talking, and I'll be down here till like 7 o'clock. I never did the welcome back Lou party. I was going to do it. I had it all planned, and then something happened. I think an FDA announcement came out, and I scrapped that show. I went with the FDA announcement. I need to do the welcome back. Welcome back to the place that you something. I don't fucking know. Where was I? M16 skills. What's up, dude? How you doing, M16? Good to see you. Matt Chandler. Excuse me. Good to see you, Matt. Oh, that's it. Merle, what's up, Merle? How you doing, brother? Good to see you. Kem, what's up, Kem? How you doing, man? Great to see you. Glad you're here. Nate Frederick, what's up, Nate? How you doing, man? Good to see you. I don't know if I've seen you chat before. I think I've seen you chatting. Glad you're here, man. Thanks for joining. I appreciate it. Sean Roberts, what's up, Sean? How you doing, brother? Great to see you. Simple Vapes, what's up, Scotty? How you doing, man? Good to see you. Snare1, what's up, Snare? How you doing, man? Good to see you. Snare commented on my. Snare said something in his comment, and I actually said it at the end of the review I did yesterday. That I wonder what it would vape like with just a round wire Canthal build, raising the ohms up to like, I was thinking like maybe like 1.0, something like that, but 0.9 to 0.10 or 10. And he said, yeah, vape's really, really good at that. So I'm going to try it. I'm going to get some 28 gauge Canthal, and I'm going to try it and see how it vapes on a single coil. He said it vapes really good at that. And I think what it does is my thinking on doing that was that I can raise the coil up without the heat getting on the cap and keep the watts low enough that I'm not burning my fucking face off with this thing. So I'll try that. But Snare, I'm glad you joined, man. Good to see you, brother. Selena, how you doing, Selena? Selena, I think you joined the Facebook group today. Glad to see you. Thank you for joining. Wood Tick Mike, what's up, Mike? How you doing? My brother from another mother. Good to see you, man. All right, that is my hello. Now it is 6 o'clock, and I think I have chicken wings on the agenda, which you, as you well know, chicken wings take over everything. All right, you got a great night of YouTube tonight. You got Vape Teams on. I think they're on at like 8 o'clock. No, 10 o'clock. They're on. I don't know if there's a No Fucks Vaping tonight or not. I didn't ask Tommy. If somebody could put in whether there is one or not, I'm not 100% sure. What else is Thursday? What else is Thursday, guys? There's a couple other things on Thursday. If you don't mind putting them in, I'll see everybody in the chats on those shows when I get there. And yeah, love you guys. Hope you guys enjoyed the Enigma today. Hope I explained it well. Leave some comments and stuff below. I'd like to get this video out there to as many people as possible. If you would not mind sharing the video, because I try to do a pretty thorough description of it. If you don't mind sharing it, I would really appreciate it. You can share it on any social media you have and get that out there so that I can get the video out for the Enigma if people are asking, and I want to try to publicize as much as possible. But anyway, I love you guys. Hope you guys have a fantastic night. I'll tomorrow see you on Vaping with Ken's channel for the Rigged Friday. I don't know how rigged it'll be because I don't know who's all going to be on there. But anyway, I'll see you tomorrow. Have a good night.